So like now, you're through.
Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to the 3-Digit World Cup. We are running back once again on our quarterfinal stage here. Yesterday we had some bangers coming through. Chile put a crazy upset against Russia to knock them out of the 3-Digit World Cup. Crazy upset there. But we got some more bangers come through, and this arguably is one of the most exciting ones of this weekend. Hong Kong against the Philippines. Two super strong teams that have lots of potential to make it into the highest echelons of the tournament here. And into the quarterfinal stage is an exciting early stage matchup. I'm Shiba, and I'm joined by one of my favorite Aussies, Mr. Vordi.
Oh, it's very kind of you, Shiba. Yeah, I am glad to be here. As you mentioned, this is one of the most anticipated matchups of the weekend in the winners finals. Winners bracket in quarterfinals. Hong Kong versus Philippines. Two teams that have some pretty big overlapping skill sets, I think. When I think of Hong Kong in pretty much any World Cup tournament, whether it be, OWC, 3WC, 4WC, always such a strong gimmick team, such a strong low AR team. And that proves to hold through in their quality performances and in some of the matchups they played in the round of 16. But the Philippines, similar thing. Hyok, 2044, Nathan Ram, both very good at those skill sets. They have backing players on those skill sets. I think there's going to be a lot of contested maps in this matchup. I think one of the things that Hong Kong outperformed Philippines on by quite a large amount was the tapping DT2 in qualities, but in the matchups in round of 16, very similar scores in the tapping maps. So it's going to be interesting to see which team holds up on things like no mod 2, free mod 2, DT3. So yeah, I think this could be a very close match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love the dynamic. Both these teams have their hyper carries. Hong Kong have Suwagi, Philippines have Hyok, and then you're relying on the two other players from both teams to try and fill out those roles in each respective map. It is going to be a battle of superstars coming through, so I can't wait for that. And because it's early stage here as well, you're really relying on the consistency from those two players, When you're having them permanently play every single map, you expect them to perform consistently all the time. When it's a later stage pool, it's more waiting on that clutch, but it's more a matter of who's gonna be struggling more and who's gonna be most comfortable. This pool is quite unique as well. A lot of unique slots coming through here. For example, no mod 1 is anti-aim reading, kind of the equivalent of a hidden one when you think about it. And way more unique kind of maps that I'm sure we're going to be seeing later on throughout this match to come through. I think one thing that I'm a little nervous here for Hong Kong in particular is that Hong Kong had that super factor where they had a dynamic duo of MCY and Suwagi. And yes, Suwagi's still around, but there's no MCY this year. And you do still have Shion, and you do still have some good players from Hong Kong. But I think Philippines have an advantage there because Nathan Ram's a thing, and if mechanics isn't going to be a thing for Philippines, he's going to be playing for every single map with Hyok, and he's been consistently strong for this team as well. So I think the overall superpower does lean in favor of the Philippines, especially throughout the majority of the pool. But as you said, Vordi, mechanics was the one thing that Hong Kong really leaned over against them. So I'm expecting that, and maybe Hard Rock to be what I'm looking for this Hong Kong team to make the most of. The Philippines going with the free mod 2 as their first pick.
That's interesting. So obviously Philippines bans hidden 2 very fair. I think Hong Kong is an insane low AR country, so that ban is very fair. Hong Kong responds to the Hard Rock 2 ban. The Hard Rock 2 this week is the very conventional slot in the Hard Rock category. Probably, I don't think they're too comfortable on 6.5, so it makes sense they want to ban that. Interestingly enough, Philippines going to start out the match with a tapping map, but this is very flow aim heavy, so 200 BPM, lower than the same slot in the last week, more so focused on the flow aim. I think we know Hyok has been popping off on the flow aim, so I anticipate he picks Hard Rock here. Nathan Ram likely goes hidden if I had to guess, then probably Impouster no mod. He's going to stay in the lobby. This is going to be a contested one. This is a very comfy skill set for the most part. Some of these streams do get pretty spaced towards the end, but yeah, this is a contested first pick because both teams had very similar scores on the tapping flow maps in the round of 16. So this is if Philippines does win this pick, they have some other options they can go for here. Maybe it's something like the Noma 2.
Yeah, you got those alternative options here. But this is an exciting entry pick here. This one's pretty comfortable, I guess, in the flowing. We've got Knowledge King mapping this, and Knowledge King for having that very consistent but very exciting level of comfortable flowing, where it's very much on that raw difficulty that's going to matter. And for the Philippines, you've got a great roster for this. I mean, Hyuk especially, one of those players that you're really looking out for to do really well. He's notorious for being very strong on that flow aim. And along with many other things on top of that, he's going to be the perma lobby player. But
I feel a disturbance in the force. Where is Suagi?
Yeah, that's a... Oh my god, you're right. Where is Suagi? Wait, what? Where's Suagi?
Now,
Okay.
F2X and Max Birio, I think these were the two players that would back Suagi on a tapping map like this. But, you know, maybe if Hibiki's really, really feeling it and Suagi's maybe not super warm, yeah, just put in your teammates that are feeling comfortable.
This is an entryway pick here for the Philippines, so you may have that scenario where Hong Kong do have a good roster of it with or without Suagi, and they're more letting Suagi prepare for the next pick that they're going to go for, potentially. That's kind of the only option I got, unless Suagi just isn't here, because I do not see a world where he isn't playing like nearly, if not every single map for this Hong Kong team. But still, F2X on the hidden hard rock, not too surprising here. Quite strong on that flowing with the hidden hard rock applied. He's done it before multiple times, so I'm not surprised to see him around on this as well. Nathan Ram and Max Birio battling out on the no mod, with then Pauster and Hibiki on the hidden. Hyuk is going to be notoriously on his hard rock, and we're not surprised by this at all. First little intro stream session to come through. No drops come just yet, but we're very early days here, and there's still quite a bit of flowing to go. F2X is going to be the first to drop on the hidden hard rock. Kind of unsurprising here. That is going to be really, really difficult to stay contested on. If you are not comfortable on this hidden with the throw aim on top of that, with the hard rock amplifying it, it's going to be really hard to hold on. And that accuracy drop as well is going to be really instrumental. It is traded by Hyuk, so small combo advantage in favor of Hong Kong. But that accuracy is going to keep leaning and slowly burning away for Hong Kong here as that combo starts to build more and more. These hidden and normal combos still seem to be holding strong, and the recoveries from the hard rock combo do seem to look good. There's the break. Everyone knows what's going on. Small combo advantage in favor of Hong Kong.
Yeah, the mechanics are just so brutal on the hard rock, and so far those are the only two drops. I think we have a little chill section here leading up to the end, but the ending is where the spacing gets really, really ridiculous. That's where you're going to expect to see a lot of chain misses, and in chain misses on Score V2, that's where you see a lot of score drops. So right now it's still pretty even. Right now the accuracy on the hard rock and Hyuk giving them a slight advantage, but that could change at any moment as we're getting back into the stream sections. So far, both Hiddens and both Nomads are holding Nathan Ram on an SS. Max Birio drops. That's the Nomad Comfort FC gone. F2X and also losing the supporting combo. Now it's just Hibiki, but Imposter and Hyuk both drop. It's now just Nathan Ram and Hibiki with a slight score advantage to Philippines going into the ending.
Nathan Ram, so want to go into his SS, by the way. Great accuracy from him. Able to suppress Hibiki entirely with that hidden bonus on top of it. The accuracy is really beneficial, especially in the highest echelons with Score V2. That's going to really start increasing your score towards the later stages here. And as Nathan Ram's going to start climbing towards his ending here, he's going to be able to suppress Hong Kong for quite a while. And then Hibiki finally does go down. Nathan Ram is going to end this map with incredible lag, and maybe just so start this match off with 100% accuracy SS on the free mod 2. Incredible score here from Nathan Ram. What a great way to start this off here for the Philippines. You did have a couple misses from Imposter and Hyuk, but Nathan Ram got it, and he is indeed going to end this off with an SS.
Gorgeous.
What a score. What a score.
Wow. That is a great way to start the match for Nathan Ram. Over 1 million on Nomad. A rare sight to see. And some good backing scores. Very contested map as well. You know, wasn't won by too big of a difference. And I think if Hibiki held on to that FC, just getting an S rank at the end might have been very, very close at the end. But yeah, a contested pick as expected, but Philippines starting off the match with a win on their first pick. And, you know, Suagi didn't go in, but, I mean, all of the teammates did pretty well. So, you know, not necessarily, it might have just been the case that all of their teammates were feeling better. It's rare to see because normally you expect Suagi to perma lobby in a match like this.
Especially on a map like this, 200 BPM streams and flow aim. Kind of one of those maps that you would expect Suagi to be consistently good on. You kind of know Suagi for being very well-rounded, but if there's any strengths that he's got, it's mechanics, aim, and hard rock. Those are like the three ones that you expect him to play.
So Hong Kong responds by immediately picking another tapping map that is much higher BPM, 238, less focused on the flow aim, but this is, I guess, the speed map of the pool, you could say, or the stamina map. I guess DT3 is more so higher BPM speed. But an interesting response after losing a tapping map, but I think Philippines probably more comfortable on the lower BPM flow aim focus than the higher BPM tapping focus, and we're about to see that. I expect probably Max Birio F2X again. We'll see if we get Hibiki or Suagi to make the 3-man for Hong Kong. And Philippines, imagine something like Hyuk, Nathan Ram, and Kagino. Guess we'll see.
I mean, you might want to swap Nathan Ram for somebody like maybe Mia Milo. Yeah, that's the only person that I can imagine swapping. Mio Milo was one of those players that was very exclusive on the mechanics for Philippines. One of the only players who got a very high score on the DT2 to give Philippines that boost on the mechanics. So I'm expecting maybe him to come through, if not Nathan Ram, because if there's any skill set that Nathan Ram is a little shoddy on, granted, he kind of destroyed those expectations last week, where he was the only one to have gone FC on a mechanics map. But if there is anyone who would replace Nathan Ram, it will be Mia Milo. And for Hong Kong, I think it's kind of expected. Max Beer and F2X obviously going to be in for this. But who the third will be, I don't know. I feel like because this is no mod and forced to be no mod, no hidden requirement enabled, you are probably expecting to see Suwagi in way more likely this time, as he won't be able to make the most of that hidden comfort that he's got on the free mod. So I'm expecting to see Suwagi on this. But for Philippines, it is going to be indeed Mia Milo to fill in here. And for the third player for Hong Kong, we're gonna have to see in a moment because I can't see them.
Yeah, I think it's been apparently it is Suwagi. It's just not showing up on the client. We'll see if it gets fixed. Yeah, it's actually a good strat. You have the SS by Nathan Ram, an extremely strong score to win the first pick. Then you pick into Nathan Ram's probably worst skill set, which is the higher BPM stamina maps. And might be a good strat to sort of take away your opponent's strength.
Oh dear, the client is not showing Suwagi, unfortunately. And also because the client syncs the audio with his client, so this is completely out of sync on the gameplay. So we can't track a lot right now, unfortunately. Sorry about that, people. We're gonna try and get that sorted in a moment.
Technical difficulties. Hopefully it works on this reboot.
Here's hoping.
It's a short map as well, so a lot can happen in 30 seconds. I see Suwagi now.
I see Suwagi. Okay, here we go. We're just a third of the way through now. Okay, lovely. It's not showing the other clients.
No, it's the opposite. Nice. Now we only see Suwagi instead of the reverse.
Oh no! Well, I think Suwagi messed that. Never mind. It's Bancho. It's Bancho. He just lost Dak.
Oh. Okay,
there's no other clients. No, it's all on fire.
Oh no.
Well, I guess you could just enjoy Suwagi's gameplay. It's just gonna be Suwagi. All right, well, Suwagi still holding on to his full combo. 97 accuracy as well. Pretty solid for a map considering how difficult it is. 208 BPM, but it's consistently tapping heavy. So you're gonna see a lot of burst, a lot of streams, a lot of stamina, and a massive death stream towards the end as well. But yeah, that's all. All we're gonna see is Suwagi. I need somebody to send me the MP link so that I can check the scores of the other teams, just so we can see who won the map. Because at the moment, it's quite literally just Suwagi, who is hitting everything, by the way. Still holding on to a full combo, which is very impressive. Getting towards the very late stage of the map. We're seeing him going through a restart.
Clients are coming back.
We're seeing him. We're seeing the clients come back.
Milo on 340k. Hyok, I think. Kagina on 590. F2X also over 500k.
We got no idea what's going on, but Suwagi
matching Suwagi.
Wait, Hyok is FCing. Oh, it's a flip. It goes to the Philippines, I think.
Oh, Hong Kong. No, I think Hong Kong won by 50k on the MP link.
Yeah, we're missing a score. Hold on, let me double check the MP. Yep, it goes to Hong Kong. So let me just speak the scores to you guys because it's very confusing right now. So Suwagi and Hyok both getting 750k and 800k respectively, an S rank from both of them, which is very, very impressive. F2X and Max Berio 610k and 542k respectively for Hong Kong, whereas unfortunately Kaganomi and Milo fell just a little bit by about 50,000 overall, with 590k for Kagano and 446 for Mio Milo. So yep, solid win for Hong Kong. Managed to take it, make the most of their mechanic strengths, and Suwagi being around as well. So yeah, solid overall.
Yeah, so far, two pretty close picks on the tapping maps. That leaves really just DT3 as a pure tapping map left. DT2 being more of a finger control reading map, but Hyok goes in for the mod 3. So this is going to be one of those other contested skill sets. This is a tech ulti gimmicky map. Something both teams are really strong on. And I do think you have this roster of Hyok, Nathan, Ramu, when you do get him on a map like this, it leads to a really, really strong strong 3-man for Philippines. But Hong Kong, this is also something they're so good at. This is a map I could imagine both of these teams like winning against almost every other team. in the tournament, but they're up against each other, so we'll see who takes it.
Yeah, it's an exciting matchup for sure. I think the people to look out for the most here are probably going to be Nathan Ram and Xion. I think those are the two players that I would expect to perform the best on this. Obviously, Suwagi and Hyok exist, and they are the superstar players that you expect to do great on this. But outside of that, like players who are known to be strong on maps like this, it is going to be Xion and Nathan Ram. And I'm looking forward to this. Hibiki and Ramu, both the resident hidden players for Hong Kong and Philippines. You seem to have that perfect three-way categorization matching for both of these teams. You've got your two superstars, you've got your two alt control players, and you have your two hidden players. So yeah, this is pretty good. This is kind of like a unstoppable force and movable object kind of situation here. This is 4 minutes long. This is consistent, very, very long. 4 minutes, might I add. Swing alt control. With a few little spikes here and there, but nothing too insane. You're really looking forward to seeing who can hold on for the longest here. This map is pretty tame. It is not going to be too difficult overall. It's 6.28 stars. Quite easy. What really matters here are going to be those awkward spiky sections and the consistency length of this map, which is going to make this the exciting factor about this. It's not necessarily going to be the raw difficulty.
Yeah, I think if you are a player who enjoys maps like this, it'll probably be one of the more comfortable maps in this week of pool. And obviously, pretty much I think every player here is comfortable on a map like this, so you can expect to see some pretty high team scores in this one. I think the intro is relatively chill, pretty much just an act check, but we're about to get into the first difficult section in a moment. And I think any bits of combo are going to matter when it's on a pick this contested.
We're slowly going to start building up into that difficult section. A few little doubles here and there, double jumps. A little bit of a faster ramp up. Not going to trip up anybody here. And we're going into the first Ki here. As we said, very, very tame. But you're still getting that small difficulty increase where that consistency is going to really start mattering. About a third of the way through here, we're not seeing any drops, but accuracy advantage leans just barely in favor of the Philippines. Not by much, though. Very little amount. What really matters here is whether or not someone will snap.
Tough map to act. Swing is always just gonna be harder to act than conventional songs.
Yeah.
As you can see, lots of these players are really experienced on a skill set like this, but still in the 95, 96 region.
Yeah, that's why you see so much volatility in the accuracy here. You've got the highest stack from Nathan Ram being at 98, and then you have accuracies as low as like Xion, 95. There's a lot of differences here, a lot of variation in the accuracies, but the first little spike to come through here, again, does not trip up anybody. And this is where the break is shown. This is where nerves and mental game could be really important here. Everyone's aware, every combo, each and every full combo is invaluable at this stage. So don't snap, don't lose your focus. Stay aware and keep in that zone. Otherwise, this might be do or die for either of these teams if we get into the late stage and nothing's dropped.
Man, imagine a six-way that is won on accuracy. That would be wild, crazy. But I could actually imagine it happening with these players specifically. Right now we're in a chill section, but...
Yeah, I feel like towards like the very end, someone's going to collapse
probably.
From the nerves.
Almost definitely. One of these six players will miss in the ending, but it's so rare to see six ways in just any tournament.
I want to see it.
But I always am hungry for one.
I want to see it, man. This is a 3-digit World Cup, but these are still some of the best tournament players in the world. I mean, really high echelon of skill from everyone here. So I'm very excited. We're going into another build-up section. We're going into the Ki very, very soon. And we'll see that small little spike here to come through. A little bit of double spam here and there. And everyone's still hitting this. Oh, my Lord. This is getting tense now.
Last
Philippines
quarter
leading.
of the map. Just off accuracy. A tough map to act. Just mostly Nathan Ram on that 98. A player known for his skill on no mod alt, no mod accuracy. These types of maps. Still nobody dropping. A little bit over an eighth of the map left. Will we see? Oh, please, six-way.
Who's going to drop? Is anyone going to drop here? Accuracy leads in favor of the Philippines. If anyone drops it for Philippines, it's over. You have to hope for Hong Kong to try and do something. The comfort does lean in favor of the Philippines with that accuracy. It's starting to gain to about 100,000. There's Xion, finally a drop here for Hong Kong. And that's going to 100% decide it. Look at that score immediately spiking by just nearly like 50k. And with that spike being hit by the majority of the Philippines, except for Nathan Ram, it's not going to matter though. There's not going to be enough time, unfortunately. Philippines through what was a really tense fight at first are going to be the ones to take it eventually. Thanks to the incredible consistency from everybody here, from Ramu and Hyuk. Tsuwagi and Hibiki tried desperately hard, but overall, that accuracy from Nathan Ram, along with the longer consistency, the one to hold the combo for the longest outside of the breaks, are going to be what's going to give them that win by 100.
All S ranks. A full screen of S ranks.
Yeah, this was way closer than it would than we thought, I think. But
yeah, I think this lobby matched up to our expectations of how good these players are at the skill set. The entirety of Philippines all over 800k. Even Nathan Ram with the break offset by his incredible accuracy. And that's another win on their own pick. No break points just yet, but so far all of these maps have been so close.
Yeah, this has been a tug of war. And Philippines taking that ult pick is very good because I think both of these teams are really very, very strong and very popular for their strengths on the control-y, ulti tech maps. So having Philippines just boldly take that normal 3 pick and win it is very good. Gives them a good sign, gives them that tell that they are in the lead for those contested maps.
Does maybe open Hidden 1 as an option.
Yeah.
I do think the Hidden Comfort is a bit more in the ballpark of Hong Kong. Hidden 1 being another ulti map, but I do think the AR9 Hidden favors Hong Kong, so I don't know if Philippines wants to go for that. We also have Nomad 4, which has some ult-like aim control, but it's also AR9, which once again, Hong Kong is just such a good reading team. It's going to be hard to match up on that. I also do think at some point Hong Kong will probably want to pick Nomad 1, just because it is a very low AR. I think it's AR 8 or 8.5, I believe, which is going to be something that Hong Kong will want to play at. It's 8.2 actually. And they go for it. They go for the Nomad 1. It makes sense. Philippines banning Hidden 2. Afraid of Hong Kong's incredible low AR skill set. And I do think this is going to be something that Philippines might struggle to find a good third for, while Hong Kong will not.
Yeah, with Hong Kong, this roster is really easy to guess. But for Philippines, you've got a few players who could do something here. I feel like you're forced to put in players like Ramu and probably Nathan Ram in this. The only other player I can maybe guess is Imposter, but this reading might be a struggle factor for him. So I'm a little unsure. But in my head, I'm thinking Ramu and probably Nathan Ram. Hyuk is definitely a maybe. I feel like if there's one skill set that Hyuk might not play and is a skill set like this, but it does seem like he's going to be in the lobby. Maybe he's just getting in the practice and to adjust.
This map is still mostly conventional mapping. Obviously, the hardest part about this is the AR 8.2, and you do have some overlaps and some tricky linear patterns mostly, but I think Hyuk is so good at aim overall that his raw aim will be a huge assistance here, even if he's not as comfortable on the low AR. But we'll see. Low AR is a weird skill set because sometimes players might not necessarily be known for it, but it is busted out and are surprisingly good at it. We'll actually see Kagano as the third for Philippines.
Kagano.
On the side of Hong Kong, you have Tsuwagi, Max Birio, and Xion, a very, very frightening low AR squad.
Yeah, I didn't expect Kagano to be in this. I'm looking forward to it, though. I think Kagano overall has been quite good on the qualifiers, but I didn't expect him to play a map like this.
I think Kagano normally you see on the tapping maps for Philippines.
Yeah, no, usually the mechanics player, the resident mechanics player for Philippines. But hey, I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to this. I need to double check qualifiers to see if he did play in any VOD maps. I don't think he did, but I might as well go check real quick now. But yeah, there's the roster luck. So for Tsuwagi, Max Birio and Xion on the side of Hong Kong. And it's going to be Kagano, Nathan Ram, and Hyuk for the Philippines.
I think the OD 8.3 might make this map a bit more chain missable than expected. Note lock can be brutal on ODs like this, but it will make the accuracy a lot more comfortable. As you can see here, this is sort of the way the map is. Lots of patterns that, if this was high AR, wouldn't even, take notice, but a lot of these flowy patterns, so much easier to miss on the low AR. See a lot of drops out the gate. Nathan Ram, Kagano, Max Birio all breaking. Advantage to Hong Kong at the start here, 2-1.
Okay, yeah, so on qualifiers, it was Kagano who have actually played the normal 4 in qualifiers, which was also a map similar to this. With a no mod kind of low AR, but not flat AR 8. It was AR 8.3 in qualifiers, and this week it is AR 8.2. Yeah. So yeah, no, turns out this is actually not too crazy of a pick for the Philippines. Kagano definitely seems to be experienced and stuff like this, so he's going to be playing that. Despite that, though, he is going to be one to drop, but it is traded by both Xion and Maxperio. Double miss there from Hong Kong. Nathan Ram did drop earlier on, but it is Suwagi and Hyok duking out for the full combos. That solo recovery from Nathan Ram is going to give the Philippines that small advantage, but there's plenty of section to come through. That would be difficult. This map is consistently hard, and that little 1/3 section there is going to trip up Nathan Ram. And now it's even grounds here. You still have a small recovery in favor of Hong Kong that's going to slowly start flipping in their favor. But yeah, those 2 full combos are really what you're hoping for to break from each of these teams to secure that victory, because this map is just tough.
I think it's slightly going to Hong Kong, maybe not anymore with that break from Maxperio. It's really all up to these 2 massive FCs, both on really high accuracies as well. Hyok and Suwagi being the front runners for their teams. But these supporting combos, if they both hold, will be the difference. Kagano and Nathan Ram building back up. Xion, the biggest supporting combo right now. But with that break from Kagano, it's going to be difficult for Philippines to reverse that score lead, especially with Xion holding.
Kagano, a bit of a mystery, and then struggling on the aim second just afterwards. We're finally going to the last quarter of the map here.
Suwagi breaks!
All these 2 big full combos, and there's Suwagi, finally a drop there. That's going to be really impactful. Hyok has to hold on, though. Nathan Ram's going to lose that support advantage, but it is going to be traded by Xion, the last remaining big combo here for Hong Kong. And it will be the Philippines who might just be able to clutch it out from Hyok on his own. What a score from Hyok right now. 99.74 accuracy on a map like this is actually kind of insane. I mean, I know everyone's got great accuracy, but this is still absurd. Hyok, the resident superstar for Philippines, and this team is going to be the one to hold the full combo and give Philippines that very valuable breakpoint.
Massive breakpoint for Philippines. Hyok going crazy on this no mod 1. So many missable patterns there that ended up catching out Suwagi. But that is going to be a massive, massive lead for Philippines here. This is a matchup where, because it is so close, because some of these players are so matched up evenly on so many maps, getting a single breakpoint is huge. If they can just keep their wins on their own picks, that's going to be enough. But obviously, as we go through deeper into this pool, there's not really many freebies. There's not really that many maps that are going to be a clear-cut victory. They did win the No Mod 3, and they won the Free Mod 2. Not too many maps left like those in the pool. I mean, I wonder... Free Mod 1's an interesting option. It is the most conventional mechanics map in the pool, and I think with how Hyok is on fire right now, I think Philippines might be pretty good on that mechanics pick, especially with Hong Kong banning the mechanics Hard Rock 2. But
yeah, Hyok is on a bit of a hot streak at the moment. I think Nathan Ram's also performed really well despite struggling a little bit on this particular map. I feel like you've got a good amount of options here. But I think another player that we need to look out for, if we're going to think of the Free Mod 1, Imposter for the Philippines is also going to be really strong on this. Although Suwagi is super dangerous on aim, you've got Hyok to counter him with that, and then you also have Tommy for Hong Kong to duke it out against Imposter. So Free Mod 1 may be a good option, but I feel like that one might be playing chicken with. DT2 going to be Philippines' next pick. And I think considering that they won on the No Mod 3, which is quite swingy and quite controlling, maybe Philippines are a little bit more comfortable. Granted, it's a lot faster, a lot higher AR, but still a similar premise. You're dealing with those doubles, you're dealing with that control, you're dealing with that consistent difficulty, which is something that Philippines, I think, are going to get quite used to, especially after that great breakpoint. Big confidence boost for them. So not surprised going into Magenta Potion with this one.
Absolute banger song. It's a very short map, 1 minute 33, and it's a little bit spiked in some of its sections, so this is a blinking you'll miss it kind of map, especially on DT. It's already like that on just No Mod.
No Mod, yeah, it's already like that on top def on No Mod, yeah.
This is definitely going to be something where practice is going to be huge, both in learning the patterns, not dropping on any of those reverses, any of the confusing finger control, and also not getting caught out by the slightly higher than normal AR 10.1. I think this is one of those maps where it's actually good to pick, but also bad to get picked into you, just because you want to expect to play a map like this. You know, if you come out the intro, missing a couple times and adjusting to the map and dropping some accuracy, on a map this short, it's going to hurt your score a lot. Well, let's see if the Philippines already got Nathan Ram, Hyok, and Kagano, the same roster in the last map. Suwagi, Hibiki, and Maxperio. We'll see if Hong Kong's prepared to play this map, because that might just be it.
Yep. There's the roster like it seems. Nathan, Ram, Kagano, and Hyok coming in for the Philippines. I don't think I'm surprised by this one at all. This is a very expected roster on a map like this. You might be able to swap Kagano for somebody else, like maybe, but I think Kagano is definitely best suited for this. It's more a matter of Philippines just having other options, but Kagano definitely the best player on this as a third. Nathan, Ram, and Hyok, not surprising at all. Suwagi, Maxperio, Hibiki, I didn't expect to be on this personally, but who knows? He could be quite good on this. I feel like you could swap somebody else, but Hibiki definitely seems to be the better third option here for Hong Kong. And they know their team better than anyone, so I'm looking forward to this one. Into Magenta Potion. Hyok with the first drop here, first blood dropped it against the Philippines. So Hong Kong going to be leaning with that early advantage. There's still that really tough intro to come through, and it's going to be traded finally by Maxperio.
I do think this is going to be something Nathan Ram will crush, and I do think at some point, I'm not sure if he still does, but had the #1 score on the top diff no mod on this map. So he'll know the rhythm better than anyone else. Probably help with the accuracy. Hyok recovering from that early miss. Kagano still holding a little bit lower AC, which will make it scary if he drops it. He does find a break. I'm not sure if that was Bancho, but if that was a real break, Kagano and Hyok both breaking, and it's now just Nathan Ram to fight against 2 FCs on Hong Kong with Suwagi and Hibiki holding on past the halfway point. The score lead is going to start flicking. Nathan Ram breaks, and so does Suwagi. It's now just Hibiki to hold, the player you didn't expect to see. On 92% as well, but holding the combo, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, combo game on a map like this is so important. You don't have to worry about accuracy when you know that half the lobby isn't going to combo it anyway. And Nathan Ram with that giant combo from Philippines is going to go down, and it's just Hibiki holding the fort here for Hong Kong, leading that advantage very, very far in their favor now. Here's a little bit of a cut stream section, cut burst section that Hibiki seems to be absolutely nailing here. And what a performance from this guy, still holding on to the full combo all the way towards the end, carrying Hong Kong to that victory. Maxperio and Suwagi did have a good recovery, but MVP 100% goes to Hibiki. Take a bow, good sir. 540k, all because of you with that great build-up.
Man, and there he goes. The breakpoint traded right back to Hong Kong, and now it is evened out if Hong Kong converts on their next pick. But yeah, Hibiki with that huge FC. Maybe, I can't tell if that was something where maybe Hyok had an unfortunate 2 misses. You would expect if Philippines did pick this map that they were a little bit more comfortable. Obviously, Nathan Ram only having the 1 slider break, it seems, but maybe a little bit of a low roll. Maybe they just didn't expect Hong Kong to be as prepared to play a map like that. I assume they didn't expect the FC from Hibiki, at least. Now it's Hong Kong to respond with a pick of their own.
I mean, hey, Hibiki breaking expectations. It's awesome. Always love seeing something like that. We had that with Nathan Ram last week as well. Nathan Ram was like the only one to have FC'd a speed tapping map.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we get those crazy surprises every now and again. And we always love to see it. That's a great score as well, considering everybody else struggling quite a bit. Nathan Ram being the only one to try and contest with like 700k. Kind of very impressive.
It's always more fun when the person you don't expect to have CFCs. It's always more interesting.
It is, yeah. But good on him. That's going to be on my notes now. Well,
on it, cracked at high AR finger control.
Alrighty. Well, it's Hong Kong turns to pick now. And considering they went on a crazy double time run, maybe you can go in front of the DT map. I don't know. It was still... I don't know. I'm thinking you might want to go with DT1, but that's a dangerous pick against Philippines, especially when Hyok's around. One of the stronger DT1 players of the thing, but it does seem like they're going to be going into it. I was thinking like DT1, if you want to carry on that double time momentum, DT1's 100% the better option. DT3 is a lot more different than DT2.
Completely different, yeah.
Very different. Not only is it low AR, but it's very raw speed heavy. So you're not really looking at that double time kind of agility comfort that you're looking for in that DT2. The only other map that can do that is the DT1, and it would be Hong Kong to lean into it. But I'd still be worried about this one because you have Hyok around, and he is very daunting on a map like this.
You know, although that is true, Hyok not super comfortable on that DT2, getting a couple misses. And this is an interesting DT1 because most of the time, especially at this stage, DT1s tend to be 10.3. But this is 10.5, and that doesn't seem like a big difference, but when you're so used to playing 10.3s in tournaments as the high end of AR, just going that little bit higher does make a huge difference in comfort, and it can definitely make the reading element and acking element a lot harder. So if a team has 3 players that are all ready to play 10.5, that is a huge advantage. You know, although the map is still just pretty much entirely aim focused at 258 BPM, I do think the AR 10.5 reading is going to come in clutch. I will be surprised if all 6 players, you know, don't find any axe struggles or any reading struggles because of that.
Yeah, 10.5 is that kind of approach rate that differentiates the good players from the great players, right? In terms of the double time. You know, only the top of the top double time players are mostly known to be comfortable on 10.5. 10.3 is one of those things where like it's still like impressive, but not nearly as rare, if you know what I mean. Like quite often most of the higher ranked players will be able to do 10.3 at a decent rate. 10.5 is a different thing though. Like most of the time you only have your signature double time players to be the ones to be the most comfortable on it. So this is an exciting test. Mapping though is very conventional, pretty standard double time 1. You've seen your consistent jumps that are not too spaced, but still decently spaced to cause a little bit of a challenge with a few little spikes before and during the KIs. Outside of that, though, it's DT1. I think everyone knows what a DT1 is. It's pretty standard. So it is going to be like kind of the 10.5, the general consistency and the comfort that's going to be really important here. And Suwagi, unfortunately, being the outlier in the lobby right now, being the only one to have broken not once but twice in this. And as we get into the first KI here, Suwagi is going to be once again struggling on this. And the rest of the lobby seems to be looking pretty good. Philippines holding on to that advantage of 100k and climbing. But in this KI, there's still plenty of potential to come through. More jumps as well. Tommy's going to be the next to drop. The aim player for the Hong Kong team is going to go down. And Philippines going to be holding on to that 3-way full combo. Never mind, Mia Milo's gone. But it's still a 2 versus 1 in full combos.
So far, I do think it is the typical misses you'd expect to see on a map like this. It's just hard to just go into it to be ready. Swaggy breaking again, but you know, if you're having a DT session, all you're playing for a couple of hours is high AR, you're gonna be super comfy on a map like this. But if you just have to break it out in a match, it's so tough to get into. But so far, it's still a 2-1. Nathan, Ram, and Hyok, the 2-star players of Philippines, up against Shion on 99%, but does find a break. And now there's no full combos left on Hong Kong. A huge combo lead for Philippines. I mean, even with the breaks from Mio Milo, this score lead is about to become unsurmountable if they can carry it on for just a little bit longer.
Look at these combos from Nathan, Ram, and Hyok, holding on fantastically here. Good accuracy as well, considering the difficulty. Great stuff here from Philippines. Hong Kong are trying, but unfortunately, it's not looking like their map. Tommy, the only one with a decent recovery here. But, I mean, compare that to the 500k gap the Philippines have, and it's just way too strong. Tommy's going to go down. That's the biggest combo gone. Mio Milo trades it, but that's not the combo that you want. It's Hyuk and Nathan Ram to still be holding on. And there's no ending section.
This would be wild. Oh,
yeah, it does have a few bigger jump sections here, but as long as Hyuk holds on to that final ending jump, which has just been hit, that is it. Hyuk almost very likely going to be finishing off with an FC for the Philippines. And a breakpoint after breakpoint here. It is going to be a trade. Philippines once again take that 2-point lead.
By almost a million score. You know, it's funny. When you first mentioned that Hong Kong could pick DT1 after the DT2 breakpoint, you immediately were like, actually, no, but Nathan Hyuk probably pretty good on this. And
I called it. I called it, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that is exactly what ended up happening.
Like, Hyuk and aim is just like a match made in heaven. Like, this guy's a freak on any kind of aim map that you put him on. And DT1 is no exception. He had a history in previous tournaments to be an absolute beast on this. And I'm not surprised for him to be the one to pop off on this. I'm a little surprised about Suwagi's performance, but it's very obvious that it was the AR that was putting him off. I feel like any other aim map that Suwagi dealt with, if it was just a bit AR lower, even AR 10.3, I feel like Suwagi could have done way better on, but it does seem like it was a bit too quick for him. But yeah, Philippines taking advantage. Surprise, surprise. It's Hyuk to be the one to do really well. Nathan Ram also with a great recovery on his back. So not recovery even, just basically a really high combo towards the end.
Yeah, a near FC basically. And it's going to be Philippines to clear out the DT pool. All 3 DTs picked in a row. Now going into the DT3 speed map, which, as you mentioned, lower AR 9.7 to BPM 270, which makes it pretty dense on the note density. And mostly tapping focused, relatively chilled in the intro, still very missable, but the ending is really where you expect to see the score be entirely made or lost. And in between the tapping sections, you have a lot of consecutive sliders that are pretty easy to miss on this note density.
Yeah, this map is quite short as well. 1 minute, 24 seconds long. It's going to have a lot of crazy spikes. And that 270 BPM raw speed is no joke. You're really relying on those mechanics specialists here for both of these teams. I feel like Philippines have a decent roster over Hong Kong. Kagano and Mia Milo definitely more comfortable on a map like this. I feel like Hong Kong do still have players like F2X and Maxperio, but I don't know. I feel like overall, Philippines are just in a better stride at the moment. I feel like they're going to perform quite well on this. Hyuk being around, obviously, going to be great. Suwagi could be in for this, but I wouldn't be surprised if you maybe swapped in for another player, but I do feel like Suwagi will be in for this. I think the rosters are quite predictable with this. But
I expect Suwagi to play this just because Suwagi, I think, was the highest score on the Nomad 2, which was the closest map to this, 238 BPM tapping. Yeah. As we see Nathan Ram not playing, I think Nathan Ram, as we mentioned before, not as comfortable on this higher BPM.
Oh yeah, this is way too fast for him, yeah.
But it's an interesting one because although Philippines does have the momentum with the DT1 breakpoint, I mean, Hong Kong did win the Nomad 2, and so I think this is going to still be pretty contested. I think it's going to come down to keeping those combos to the end, just even having a couple very, very easy map to miss on and find a break, even if not on the tapping, just on the sliders in between the tapping. But we'll see. And because it's so short already, and you can see in the map breakdown, like the bars, there's a very big, noticeable empty bit of space for a bit. So there's not too many nodes for a high BPM map, which means any breaks will matter a lot.
Yeah, massively. You're really relying on those dev spikes to be hit by your resident comfort players, because these slow sections will be where you build up that combo for your recoveries to try and be a little bit helpful to your big speed players. But yeah, I think Philippines definitely much more confident in this. Having Xion being forced to fill in for Hong Kong isn't promising, but you never know. He might be able to do something clever. We've seen surprises before. Kagano going to be the first one to drop, traded by Hyuk and Xion. 2 versus 1 already in that early combo stage. That big disc spike only hit by 3. And there's a lot of build-up combo here. Your big FCs are going to be so important on this. Accuracy leaning in favor of Hong Kong as well. So, yeah, look at this. Look at this.
All of Philippines gone.
What is this? Look at all these doubles. Look at all this control, let alone the speed. So much double spam here, and it's just Suwagi to be the one holding on. And he's going to be on this little buzz slider stream section that's going to be holding on massively here. You've got Hyuk on the recovery trying to do something here, but there's nothing you can really do. The other 2 combos are just way too oppressive against the rest of the Philippines here. And you can hear mashing from Suwagi here. This is really quick, and Suwagi's still hitting the entire part of the map. And Hong Kong are just way too far ahead on this. I mean, look at this. This is already 300k gap on a map like this. That's crazy. There's not much you can do. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I do think that is going to be is it the 4th consecutive breakpoint in a row?
I think it's the third. It's the 3rd in a row, but there have been like 4 breakpoints. Yeah, there's 3 in a row, but there's been 4 breakpoints.
Does find a break right at the end, but it doesn't matter. Not too many notes left. 91% accuracy, but combo is king. Hyuk finding a really, really good recovery after that break in the intro. I assume Hyuk's comfort on this is probably why they picked it, but unfortunately, not as high scores from the supporting players, and Suwagi overtaking Hyuk with just that combo. And now back to 3-4 Hong Kong, back to an evened out match. I mean, a very similar story to the DT2, I think, with the Philippines picking this map.
Yeah, it's a unfortunate spot there. They're closing in the gap a little bit, Hong Kong, and they're going to another pick. But depending on what they go, it could lead into dangerous territory. You do still have a couple no mods available. You still have the free mod 3 available, free mod 1 as well, depending on how you're feeling. I'm not sure if you want to go for free mod 1, because I feel like Hyuk and Pausto are just really strong on stuff like that. But yeah, what options do you have? Hidden 1, I guess?
Yeah, I think Hidden 1's good. I think Hong Kong's just such a good reading hidden team, and that is the name of the game of Hidden 1. They actually go free 1-1, really? Okay. That's an interesting one. Just because, you know, they lost in the DT1. They banned the Hard Rock 2. I don't think conventional mechanics is the angle, but I mean, if they're feeling good on it, as we've seen, I think Hyuk, Nathan, Ram, I think this is also a map that Philippines, you know, if they get impost maybe on the no mod, something like a Ramu on the hidden, I think this is going to be something Philippines will have a strong 3-4. But also, because it is one of the conventional maps of the pool, Hong Kong will likely also have some very comfortable players on a map like this.
Yeah, I feel like for Philippines, you've definitely got the obvious picks. You've obviously got Hyuk and probably Ramu on the hidden. The third, I got no idea. I mean, you could put Nathan Ram, you could put Imposter, you could put Kagano. It's all up to you, really. This map does have a very conventional, very standard No Mod 1 aim, but also has quite a lot of streams in them, so that's something you might want to take into consideration. For Hong Kong, I mean, this roster is kind of obvious. I mean, Suwagi, Hard Rock, Hibiki, Hidden, F2X, No Mod, or F2X, Hard Rock, actually. It's one or the other. I think Suwagi and F2X can kind of swap around or work around the Hard Rocks here. But it seems like it's going to be Nathan Ram to fill in for the Philippines. Obvious No Mod 1.
Yeah.
Obvious No Mod, yeah. Hyuk, Hard Rock, Ramu, Hidden. I'm looking forward to this one. This could get really exciting.
Yeah, I think this is going to be similar to something like the No Mod 3, where I think that you're going to see a lot of high scores potentially, or a lot of comfortable players. This is a map obviously mechanically a lot harder than the No Mod 3 over 7 stars, but I think you're going to see a pretty contested map here. And Hong Kong really wants to win this one to even out the scoreboard. You do not want to lose another breakpoint. So far, it's been so many breakpoints traded back to back. Hong Kong definitely wants to end it here. It's going to be F2X on the Hard Rock, so Suwagi on the Comfort No Mod. I do think, you know, if you have a star player, you have the option getting a higher score cap potential, but I do think the consistency is sometimes more important.
I mean, yeah, I feel like Suwagi being on No Mod is much more obvious than like Hyuk being on No Mod. Hyuk is the star player, but Hard Rock is quite literally like a comfort thing. Like, the dude loves playing Hard Rock on maps like these, especially on aim maps. So, yeah, I'm expecting great things from Hyuk in particular, but Suwagi being on the No Mod doesn't surprise me at all. F2X still back in his old hijinks with the hidden Hard Rocks. Not really too surprising with that one, but you could see Suwagi on the Hard Rock. That is another option. But yeah, this difficulty is already kind of ramping up here. You've already got quite a few difficult jump sections that's being hit by the majority here. Actually, no, not even the majority, by everybody. No one's missing on this. Great accuracies as well here. Advantage very slowly in favor of Hong Kong. Two high 99s and 100% from Suwagi. And you've got Nathan Ram on the SS and 99.8 on Ramu. Hyuk is actually the outlier on the accuracy here with just under 99. But there's Hibiki, and that's the first blood drop down for Hong Kong. You've got the Philippines now being able to handle this lead to the Ki, but there are still some really tough jumps to come through. Suwagi goes down. No combos from the Philippines are still going down, but this is where it's really valuable. You're going to have to really hope for a trade here. Otherwise, that slow consistency is going to start building up and giving Philippines a lead. That's going to be too hard for Hong Kong to build. And it's going to be hit by the majority of the Philippines here. Nobody's going to drop. Philippines are going to be pulling this lead away further and further. The 1/3 trips up Hyuk, but that's still a 2 versus 1.
F2X still on the hidden Hard Rock FC, the only remaining hope for Hong Kong at all. It's the only reason they even have a chance on this pick. Still 2-1 on the side of Philippines, but if we see a, you know, catastrophical Nathan Ram Ramu break, the F2X FC might be enough, but still advantage Philippines if they keep on this double FC.
If somebody, okay, look, if one of the full combos drop right now, like that could lead to the flip if F2X still holds. It's Hyuk to drop, but that's not the one you want. You're gonna really want Ramu or Nathan Ram. Nathan Ram is still holding on to his SS, by the way, and there's only a little bit of time left. I feel like this lead is gonna start becoming insurmountable now. F2X is trying so hard to do something here with this hidden Hard Rock, and this is a really impressive score from him. I mean, this is why you put him on stuff like this. He loves this kind of stuff. He thrives on it. But unfortunately, the rest of the Philippines just don't want him to go anywhere near their score lead. 191k staying stagnant for the last minute of the map. And Nathan Ram with a beautiful full combo with Ramu on his side on the hidden. It was a valiant effort from F2X, man. 1.1 million is really impressive considering the accuracy on top of that. But not going to be enough, unfortunately. Suwagi and Hibiki could not keep up with the rest of the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, the Hard Rock on this map makes it not a joke at all. You can see Hyuk, such a comfortable Hard Rock player, still getting 600k, but F2X, yeah, well done on that hidden Hard Rock FC. That is quite a good effort. Score. Making it an otherwise not close pick very close. The double FC from the Philippines. But now we're at a match point. Philippines up 5-3 going into their own pick. Now, so far they've lost 2 of their last picks, I think, on DT2 and DT3. You don't have too many options left to go anyway. I have No Mod 4, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1, and Free Mod 3. I think the least gimmicky option in terms of pure mapping is probably the Free Mod 3, other than the fact that it's 6.5 AR8. But they go for the No Mod 4. So they go for the AR9 sort of gimmicky control map, which is once again contested territory like most of these maps have been.
Yeah, these teams have been really evenly matched. I mean, breakpoint after breakpoint, you don't really need to look at the scoreline to know how close this match has been. When you know teams are winning each other's picks, you just know it can go to anyone. I mean, it really could just be back and forth. But yeah, this map, CS5, AR9, this is some high CS flow control. Lots of 1/3, lots of doubles, lots of weird aim. But the control is the main theme with this one. And Philippines have given Hong Kong a run for their money, winning the normal 3 previously, but losing on the DT2. So it's exciting territory here. This is where it could be do or die here for Hong Kong. You're going to have to really hope for players like Nathan Ram to struggle on this. I feel like he's going to be the best player for this by far. Shion is going to be in for Hong Kong. No surprises there. He's been great on this ult and control. So this is a hype one. Another map that we just don't know. We just don't know who's gonna really win. You're gonna have to just hope for one of those core players to drop unexpectedly, uncharacteristically, if you want to get a predictable line, but you just won't. You just got no idea.
Yeah, Philippines did win the No Mod 1, which was the AR8.2 map. This is also pretty dense at AR9, but obviously instead of the conventional aim, you have a lot more gimmickier skill set. And yeah, I think as you mentioned, you just don't know with this one. Both teams are going to be pretty strong on this. I think for Philippines, you do expect Hyok and Nathan Ram to be the most comfortable, as they have been so far. But Hong Kong, this is kind of their bread and butter, I feel like. But this is something I could have anticipated them picking as their next option. But here we go. Once again, under 2 minutes. I think pretty consistent this one.
Yeah, if there's anything you learn about 3WC is that not only is their slotting very unconventional, but that you also have the crazy volatility of these maps. Very, very short, but very, very consistent in its difficulty. Which is why you often see quarterfinals maps being so difficult, because it's not necessarily the fact that they're long and difficult. They are short and have to be difficult because of that length. And that's why you see so many difficult maps throughout this quarterfinal stage. And into this map here, you already see this insane level of control, loads of overlaps as well. You've got to have a reading aspect on top of that. Considering this is AR9, if you're not comfortable on this, you're gonna struggle. But thankfully, it does seem to be like the majority to be doing quite well here. 2 early drops from Hyok and Kagano for the Philippines. Gonna give Hong Kong that little advantage. But here's a little bit of a spike to come through here with the slider burst, and Max Beria is gonna be able to drop with Kagano. But the full combos aren't going down here. Shion and Suwagi still looking great. And there's Nathan Ram. That's a tough miss there. And Hong Kong going to be able to run away with this lead now. There's no combo that's going to start pressing them anytime soon.
Nathan Ram missing right in the middle. I think this is the earliest so far that a map has been already... At this point, it's already an almost insurmountable lead for Hong Kong. Suwagi does find a break, but because Shion still holds, still going to continue that score lead build-up. And Hyok's doing his best with that recovery, but the time's almost run out.
That small buzz slider.
Oh.
Shion, though, yeah, this is really impressive. That small little buzz slider just completely tripped up Swaggy and trips on Max Beria later on. This control is really tough and really dangerous here, but Hyok, despite doing his best efforts here, that early miss is going to start to be a huge burden on the rest of his team here. Nathan Ram and Kagan are going to go down, Suwagi goes down again, but it is Shion who's still holding on. Oh my god, if he hit that ending section, I would have been blown away. But it will be him to be the one to carry Hong Kong to that victory. The resident control player for Hong Kong, pulling off the clutch when he needs to. Great score for Hong Kong. It's one more map until tiebreaker.
Oh, at this point, I'm just praying for tiebreaker. I think so far we've been on a long streak of breakpoints.
We want Angry for.
And yeah, I would love to see an Angry for pick, but that would require Hong Kong to win. And I think it's just hit and one. I think it has to be hit and one, right? You win a AR9 ulti control map. You pick the AR9 ulti control map that is also hidden, which I think favors Hong Kong, if anything. So I think it just has to be hit and one here. I don't think they pick Hard Rock 1. I don't think you go free mode 3. I think it's just hit and one, like, surely.
I mean, Hard Rock 1 is an option, you know. Hard Rock 1 was quite like kind of spacey in the flow aiming control
that is true.
And the high CS.
I think a lot of the patterns in Hard Rock 1 were similar to No Mod 4, but considering they banned Hard Rock 2, Yeah, they go for hidden one.
It's
Yeah,
hidden one. Okay,
I think just the hard rock comfort isn't as strong as their hidden comfort.
Yeah, I guess
Hidden
I
one.
agree with that. Yeah, definitely agree. I feel like Hidden One was their best option, but Hard Rock One was there, and in that essence, 3-on-3 was also there. I mean, you could have seen something with that, but it's not going to be the case. It will be the Hidden One as we expected here. Now, this is the one time where you don't want history to repeat itself. You want to change. You want to see a pick win. This is the one where we want to see tiebreaker. If you're a neutral viewer like me and Vordi, you want this. You really want this.
You want to see in the world, win your own pick, win your own map.
Just do it, please, Hong Kong. This is the one where TV is a must-do. Philippines are 1 point away.
One as well.
Yeah,
volatile once again. 135 AR9, 261 BPM, super dense. A lot of these patterns will, I think, fall in the category of looking easier than they are to play, just because the density is something you can only feel when you play it.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I feel like this one, despite being a little bit ulti, still has an aim control. It's more leaning towards the linear aim side of things. You're going to be seeing a lot of those linear jumps. That's going to be consistently difficult with hidden apply to as well. I feel like if there's one skill set where you are going to struggle with linear aim jumps, it's going to be hidden. You know, it's like very space flow aim, and especially with the AR9 slapped on top, you're going to have to really memorize those notes as they go through. And if you're not used to that, you're going to struggle big time here. So, considering Hong Kong have a good roster for this, I mean, Suwagi, Hibiki, and Xion, all three great players on stuff like this. But you still have the Philippines. Hyuk on aim is Hyuk on aim. Nathan Ram is Nathan Ram, and Ramu is their star hidden player. So this is going to be an exciting one. It's do or die here. Philippines are either going to take this and win the match, or Hong Kong will take it and win tiebreaker. Are they going to break the streak, or is history going to stay as it is? Will nothing change, or will everything change? We'll have to wait and see. It all comes down to this final map.
This map does have quite a few perfect stacks. Ramu breaking out in the intro. I think Suwagi also broke and does find another break there, but this is going to be such an easy map to miss on. This type of skill set, free combo, doesn't exist. Literally everything is missable. That is all of Hong Kong breaking. Still pretty early on, but 1 minute 35 map. You don't have much time to get those recoveries. Well, Hyuk and Nathan Ram still hold, and Ramu's on that recovery.
Boy. Yeah, Hyuk and Nathan Ram still holding on to great accuracies on top of... on top of that. Hyuk just losing his SS, but it's still 2 full combos against none for Hong Kong. And you've got Ramu on a great recovery as well. That early break doesn't seem to phase him at all. 300 combo and climbing, outshining the biggest combo in Xion. Hong Kong, unfortunately, early stage are struggling immensely on this, and the pick is just not for them. A triple reset for Hong Kong past the halfway mark, and the rest of the Philippines are running away with it. Already 500,000 score and climbing away out of Hong Kong's reach. There is simply nothing they can do. Philippines have made them fall for their trap card. They've pulled out the ultimate gimme. And despite Nathan Ram and Ramu dropping, I feel like it's going to be enough anyway. Hyuk holding on to a full combo of 99 act. No combo is able to be sustained here for Hong Kong. And it will be the match for the Philippines here. Unfortunately for our neutral viewers, we're not going to be seeing Angrifa today. But it was still an absolute banger of a match. The history stays the same. Breakpoint after breakpoint, the 6th breakpoint in a row will go to the Philippines in the end. And they will take the match, advancing into the winner's semifinals.
Almost a doubled scoreline on the last pick of the map with a huge FC from Hyuk. Just an overall insane performance from Philippines. I think this is something where maybe Hong Kong felt the pressure in the end and weren't able to surmount it. Unfortunately, no tiebreaker. That will be GG's to the Philippines, winning 6-4.
Yeah, what a match. Really, what a match. I mean, this matchup was always going to be really exciting. And we saw these teams pull off every stop. But I think this is very reminiscent of other legendary matches that have taken place in the history, where it's breakpoint after breakpoint. You don't know who's going to win what. It's so volatile, yet so incredibly exciting. And that is going to be Philippines taking the win in the end of the day. I mean, I think the MVP 100% goes to Nathan Ram here. I mean, he was absolutely a star on multiple no-mod maps, and he was just crazy. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, that's gonna be GG for the Philippines. And before we finish off our stream here, before we go on into our end stream and later on into today, we have a proposal for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to donate to the epic prize pool, that is the 3-digit World Cup prize pool here. Please do donate. Do ! Donate in chat. And if you don't do that, if you do that, you can also get a supporter banner from 3WC to commemorate your amazing generosity. And yeah, do you want to go with the next part, Vordi?
Yeah, sure. And you can also go to bluebunny.store, the sponsor of 3WC, where you can use the code 3WC10 for 10% off high-quality tablet covers if you need a tablet cover for your new tablet. Yeah, I think that is going to be pretty much it from us for now. I have been Vordi, and he has been Shiba, and we'll see you on the next match.
See ya.